Welcome to Beyond the School Educational Channel of Sri Lanka. Dear grade 11 students, I think you are safe from coronavirus from your home. By the way, my dears, let's start second term syllabus from the third lesson, Human Rights and Human Duties. We know that the people with human qualities are called humans. It means man becomes into the human by inculcating human qualities. Then we have to pay our attention towards the rights. අයිතිවාසිකම් කියන්නේ මොනවද කියලා අපිට හඳුන ගන්න වෙනවා. How to define the rights? How to define the rights? අයිතිවාසිකම් කියන්නේ මොනවද? This is the simple definition for the human rights. The rights that are inherited to everyone without any discrimination are called human rights. Can I tell it again? The rights that are inherited to everyone without any discrimination are called human rights. On the other hand, it can be defined in this way. The entitlements inherited to everyone at his birth without any discrimination is termed as human rights. I have a set of human rights. You have set of rights. We all have set of rights. Then it means we can enjoy our rights, but we can't violate the rights of others. Keep your mind that we can enjoy our rights by ourselves, but we can't violate rights of others. It means we have to protect the rights of others while enjoying our rights. As well as not only that, we have to fulfill our duties and responsibilities while enjoying our rights. Do you know that human rights are universal based on equality and equity? It means, Puta, when you fly abroad, you have same rights like in Sri Lanka. When tourists come to Sri Lanka, they have equal rights like ourselves. They can enjoy their rights. That is the nature of human rights. It means human rights are important to live as humans with dignity and equality. So my dears, it is very important to learn about human rights due to following reasons. First one, we all have equal human rights. Second one, human rights are very important to create the equity and equality in the human society. Third one, human rights are very important to create human dignity. Fourth one, human rights are very essential to human existence. That's why we have to learn about human rights. Not only that, we all have equal rights. That's why I told you earlier, we have to enjoy our rights while protecting our rights of others, as well as we have to fulfill our duties and responsibilities very well while enjoying our rights. Otherwise, we can't enjoy our rights. That's the real sense. Because our ancestors sacrificed many lives to achieve human rights. Now we are going to pay our attention towards the history of achieving human rights. My dear students, now we are enjoying our rights as our ancestors achieved human rights by doing many struggles. It means there were many difficulties in time to time in achieving human rights. human rights අපි භුක්ති විඳිනවා අපේ ancestors ලා අපේ අතීත පරම්පරාවන් විවිධ කැපකිරීම් කරලා අපිට ඒවා ලබා දුන්න හින්දා. With the development of human society, man tried to ensure his rights. මිනිසා දියුණු වෙද්දී තමයි එයාගේ අයිතිවාසිකම් පිළිබඳව එයා හිතන්න පටන් ගත්තේ. They fight against the rulers. Many struggles were occurred to get human rights. Following are the occasions where the man tried to achieve their human rights. First one, British Bill of Rights, United States Declaration of Independence, French Revolution, Russian Revolution. Those are the different occasions where man tried to achieve their human rights. Not only that, my dears. If we protect the human rights while enjoying our rights, following features can be observed in the society. It means components of society where rights are ensured. Now I am going to present the components of society where rights are ensured. ඒ කියන්නේ මම දැන් මේ කියන්න යන්නේ පුතේ ඔයාලට අයිතිවාසිකම් සුරක්ෂිත වුණු සමාජයක දැකිය හැකි ලක්ෂණ. First one, protecting the democracy. Can you understand? Protecting the democracy. Second one, upgrading the social states of people. Third one, growth of social justice. Next one, equality. I have mentioned 4 features. First one, protecting democracy. Second one, upgrading the social standards of the public. Third one, growth of social justice. Fourth one, equality. These are the occasions where these are the features where rights are ensured. Not only that, there were many pathetic situations in our history, especially we can state world wars. You know that there were 2 world wars, First World War and Second World War. First World War was originated නැත්නම් අපි කියනවා නම් පුතේ පළවෙනි ලෝක යුද්ධය ගැන, දෙවන ලෝක යුද්ධය ගැන මේවා අපේ මානව ඉතිහාසයේ අයිතිවාසිකම් නැති වෙච්ච තැන. That's why I told you, my dears, there were many pathetic situations in violating the human rights. First World War was started in 1914 and it was continued up to 1918. Second World War, it was originated in 1939 and it was continued up to 1945. What are the results of world wars? 100,000 of people died. 100,000 of people died. Millions of people disabled. 100,000 of women and children became helpless. Destruction of property was immense. Shall I tell it again? These are the results of world wars. These are the pathetic conditions inherited to human society by these world wars. First one, 100,000 of people died. Second one, millions of people disabled. Third one, millions of women and children became helpless. Fourth one, destruction of property was immense. Due to the above mentioned pathetic conditions, world leaders came to the one stage and they discussed to maintain the world peace and bringing up the coexistence among the world nations, and they tried to protect the human rights in the entire world. As a result of these conversations, United Nations organization was formed in 1945. The main purpose of United Nations was preventing such pathetic conditions in the world. It means especially establishment of the peace, upgrading the coexistence among the world nations, protecting the human rights in the entire world. Those are the basic purposes of the United Nations. That's why United Nations present the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, on the 10th of February 1948. By the Universal Declaration, they have mentioned followings. First one, all human beings are born in free. They are equal in terms of dignity of rights. Third one, they should act towards the one another in a spirit of brotherhood. Fourth one, they are endowed with reasons of conscience. Those are the conditions presented by United Nations by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So my dears, let's pay our attention towards the different fields of human rights. It means now we are going to classify the human rights. Please tell me, dears, what are the criteria that can be used to classify the human rights? Basically, two criteria are used to classify the human rights. First one, based on law. Second one, based on nature. First one, based on law. Second one, based on nature. Now let's pay our attention towards the human rights based on law. How to classify the human rights based on law? According to the law, human rights can be classified into two basic parts. They are fundamental rights and human rights. What are the basic fields of human rights according to the law? Fundamental rights, human rights. Fundamental rights, human rights. What the fundamental rights are? Now I am going to present a simple definition for the fundamental rights. Fundamental rights are the human rights that are ensured by the Constitution. Shall I tell it again? Fundamental rights are the human rights ensured by the Constitution. ඒකල කියන පුතේ ආණ්ඩුක්‍රම ව්‍යවස්ථාවෙන් සුරක්ෂිත කරලා තියෙන අයිතිවාසිකම් වලට කියනවා අපි human rights කියලා. Then human rights. I am going to present a simple definition for the human rights. The basic requirements that man has to fulfill to lead the good life are called as human rights. This classification, now you can see this classification. It means the according to the law on the okay, my dears. Now let's pay our attention towards the human rights based on nature. It means now we are going to classify the human rights based on nature. According to the nature of human rights, they can be classified into several fields like political rights, social rights, cultural rights, economical rights. Those are the various fields that can be classified human rights according to the nature. This classification you can see now on the big screen. Okay, my dears, let's study about the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Do you know? It was passed by the General Assembly of United Nations on the 10th of February 1948. It was consisted of 30 articles. By the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, ensured the following human rights. First one, all human beings are born free with equal rights. Second one, everyone has the right to live, liberty and security. It should go to the personal security, no? Right. Third one, everyone is equal before the law. It means there should be an equal treatment before the law. Fourth one, right to social security. සමාජ සුරක්ෂිතතාවයට අයිතියක් තියෙනවා. Next one, right to rest and leisure. Right to rest and leisure. Everyone has the right to rest and leisure. It should be protected by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Okay? Next one, right on property. Next one, right to privacy. I have given you the few articles that are ensured by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, but there are 30 articles, but these 7 or 8 articles are enough to your examination, right? Shall I tell it again? All human beings are born free with equal rights. Everyone has the right to live, liberty and security. Everyone is equal before the law. Right to social security, right to rest and leisure, right on property, right to privacy. So my dears, we classified the human rights under the nature as political, social, civil, economical and cultural. Now I am going to present some civil and political rights of man. What am I going to present? Civil and political rights of the man. මිනිසාගේ civil සහ දේශපාලන අයිතිවාසිකම්. First one, right to live. Second one, right to free from slavery. වහල්භාවයෙන් මිදිලා ඉන්න අපිට අයිතියක් තියෙනවා. Third one, right to fair treatment. හැමෝටම සමානව සලකන්න ඕන. හිතලා බලන්න. අම්මා තාත්තා අයියලා අක්කලා හැමෝටම එක වගේ සලකනවා නේද? Fourth one, right to traveling. Fifth one, right to expression. Sixth one, right to join any political party. Seventh one, right to cast votes. ඔයාලට ඡන්දෙ දෙන්න අයිතියක් තියෙනවා, මනාප දෙන්න අයිතියක් තියෙනවා, බය වෙන්න එපා. Now I am going to tell you the economic, social and cultural rights of a person. These are the economic, social and cultural rights of the person. First one, right to education, right to foods and clothes, right to own property, right to social security, right to enjoy, right to get in vacation. Those are the social, economical and cultural rights of a person. The rights presented under the civil and political rights as well as economical, social and cultural rights now you can see on the big screen. So, my dear sons, my dear daughters, I cordially invite you to join with our video lesson series, and please subscribe our video channel and click the bell icon. Then you will be able to have a nice educational experience with our video lessons. I am Danushka Roshan from Beyond the School YouTube video channel. Thank you very much.